All right, good morning, everybody. This is just around past 5. Not quite long. I actually woke up. So yesterday night, I had to pray for Nigeria before I went to sleep, and while talking to God, I was talking to God against the invasion of the bandits, the terrorists, and all those herdsmen. And of course, equally talking to God that, there should be no war in this country. I told God that if war takes place in this country, a lot of families is going to be displaced, children will die, women will die, even men will also die. So I had to make that passionate appeal to God for God to intervene in what is happening in Nigeria. For God to take absolute control, that there should be no war at all, because many lives will be destroyed, many lives will be lost. So after that prayer last night, I went to sleep. So early hour this morning, before I woke up, I had a revelation. And in that revelation, these Hausa people, they were gathered at a particular place. They were gathered there, they were much. Some I saw their normal kind of weapon, which is whether it's sword or cutlass that they call it. I saw it with them. So leaving that particular place where they were in that revelation, so all of a sudden there was a mass attack. It was as though they shot their, what they call it, arrows. They shot their arrows. So, I don't know whether you have watched that, all this kind of film that, when they will just shoot arrows, when there is a host of army, and that army, they now shoot arrows, so you are having those arrows, you cannot count them. They are, those arrows are actually uncountables, so, the arrows were actually flying in the air, to go and attack or to go and kill people. You understand what I'm saying? So, the arrows, they were much, you cannot count them, that was fired by all these Fulani people, So it was very certain that that arrow will kill as many people as the arrow hit. It was sure that is exactly what is going to happen. But all of a sudden, a being from the sky, from heaven, was just coming straight down to the earth. It was like, it was, I don't know, it was a giant person, a man. It was like an angel. Do you understand? An angel, giant, very big. And that angel ensured that the arrow does not even touch the ground. He ensured that those arrows doesn't touch the ground. Those uncountable arrows that were being fired. You understand? The angel ensured that the arrow didn't touch the ground. And that was how, the plans of the enemy did not materialize. Did they shoot arrows? Yeah, they shot arrows, but it did not touch anybody. It did not touch anybody. So, we have to keep praying. We have to keep talking to God. But if there is anything I know, is that there is a God in heaven that answers prayers. So when we pray against these terrorists, when we pray against bandit, Fulani herdsmen, I believe that God will always intervene. You understand? God can even turn their weapons into water that it will not have any effect anywhere. So this was actually the revelation that I had, in the middle of the night, just before, I think before 5 o'clock this morning, because the time is still past 5, before I woke up. Do you understand? That was the revelation that I had. So I believe that God is going to protect his own. God is going to protect our nation, Nigeria, from the invasion of the enemies. I'm very certain about that. With the revelation that I just had, I know that God has answered our prayers, and I know that help is sure. going to take place. So I said to my Pastor Edward Peter, God bless you very much.